if they have you choose a class in the beginning and you can't change it and you're kind of set in that, I wouldn't be mad at it, but I would love to see something where it's not necessarily where you do start classless, but you do work towards getting into a specific class. Because it also, when we think about the world of Guild Wars, right, and we talk a little bit about, you know, the timeline of things, it's very interesting because the evolution, just 250 years between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2, you can see a huge evolution in the way that the classes are and the way that, you know, classing works. They don't talk about it in the world of Guild Wars, but you can see a change of how it is, right? And that's just based on the game systems and you know, how the games were created and stuff like that. But, you know, if we go then 1,000 years in the past, could it be that back then classes weren't so, like, you're set in the way of the classes? Like, that was still the time when they were coming up with classes? And so the most powerful classes that kind of got, you know, set in stone, you know, like Mesmer, for example, were the people that leaned into the, like, you know, purple illusion magic, that kind of mind magic or whatever, right? And it's just kind of like those were the most prevalent ones, and then that is what stayed throughout the ages into Guild Wars 1 and kind of solidified as the main classes. Like, more people specialized into those throughout the years, and then that's kind of what it became back then. But maybe we're the progenitors of that class system, and we have to create these classes ourselves, and we have, you know, we start out classless, but we are actually the creators of the class system of the Guild Wars universe in that way, right? I mean, they just have to make it interesting. You know what I mean? I think when we think of, and I agree with you, Mish, when we think of like classless system, it feels kind of boring. It feels uninspired, right? It feels kind of like the developers of a game that has a classless system is kind of like, well, you know, we didn't really know what we wanted to decide on, so we wanted to give the people the ability to do whatever, right? But I think ArenaNet is one of those that they want to innovate on things that already exist, right? And we know that ArenaNet loves to innovate, and they love to sit down and they love to talk about just changing things at like a fundamental level. And I feel like something taking ideas from something super successful like Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, which was a very successful game, and something like Elden Ring, which was super successful, right? And kind of, you know, and the Souls, like how the Souls, like, you know, genre has really taken off, and maybe taking a lot of these ideas and kind of making it Guild Wars is what ArenaNet is really all about.